Hello, and welcome to Rose Play Presents episode 62. The top 3 best press conferences of 2018. I didn't quite know how I wanted to say that. As always, we're your hosts, MoonRose and Stall Wildfire. Sounds like this is working. Yeah. Alright, so here on Rose Play Presents, we do things a little differently, and as you might have also noticed, we're having a top 3, or top anything on Rose Play Presents, because that's where the press conference is. But here we do things a little differently altogether. Sometimes we can do things like interviews with content creators, game developers, closed betas, E3, vlogs, podcasts, it's endless. But take your favorite TV show that got turned into a TV movie, and bam, that's what we are. Instead of having a season with 3 special episodes, every episode's a special episode. So, as I stated, today we'll be doing the top 3 E3 press conference. Why top 3? As Nostalgia Critic would put it, because we can. But, honestly, it's because there was only, 7 press conferences, or 8?
Something like that.
I really don't think, we both really didn't want to do a top 5. If there was 6, it'd be like, well, I wonder what the worst is.
But there wasn't that many good ones.
Not this year, no. We'll get into that here in a second. So, let's go ahead and start with number 3. Top 3rd place, bronze, goes to Limited Run Game press conference.
Oh.
Yep.
I don't know. I mean, it impressed me more than
Devolver.
Devolver and whatnot. I don't know. Microsoft was just boring.
This year, definitely.
Limited Run, really kept in there. Because, it was the one with the glitchy dude, right?
Yeah, the glitchy dude and the same people in the audience with a lot of not stick figure, but cardboard people.
Yeah.
And it came up in a car.
Yeah, I really deserved it for that. Plus, just the games. I don't remember, though.
No, but a lot of the games were good from what I remember, or could be good.
Yeah, they definitely impressed. Microsoft got a spot on here. Yeah.
Well, see, here's the thing. I mean, Limited Run games basically acted like Devolver Digital. The only difference is that where Devolver Digital was good for what it was, and I use good loosely.
Yeah.
There was barely any games. It got a little sadistic for a press conference that kids might.
Yeah.
I understand it was 9 o'clock when the press conference went on. And I mean, this actually goes into number 2, so I'll actually save what I was going to say about Microsoft, because there is something I want to say about Microsoft that too. But Limited Run was the only press conference, besides Devolver, that tried to have fun and do its own different thing.
Yeah.
They talked about the... I don't think they talked about the game. But at least somebody came out, they talked, and showed a trailer for it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're right. The only one that could have rivaled might have been PlayStation. I think it was a close run between PlayStation and Limited Run for me. Because PlayStation, although it wasn't super as good as last year, because last year PlayStation was our number 1.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good, but at least there you had, that banjo guy inside the church tent to mimic The Last of Us. You had the flute guy for the ninja game. And then the games. I will say a lot of the games were good for PlayStation. Was that on what's for the next one? No, okay. So I can say, if we had to give a runner-up, it'd probably be PlayStation. I think PlayStation was the closest thing next to Limited. And that's mostly only because every game they had, I almost wanted to play. But yeah, no, you're right. Limited Run games wins mostly for the fact that they had a large variety of games for everybody. All the games looked like they could be good. and they had fun, and they tried with it.
Yeah, at least.
Alright, so, I'll go ahead and start with the next one. Our number 2, silver, that we give to for the press conferences for the best, was PC gaming. Now, I know originally you did have Microsoft for this for a while. And that's what I wanted to talk about with limited run games. The reason why I agreed with you and decided PC gaming was 2 was because they did it right. Where Microsoft had no games last year, but at least they were entertaining with their software.
Yeah.
This year, Microsoft came out and they were like, hey, we got 49 games. The last one was hidden, that, Street Punk, Urban Punk, Cyberpunk.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, the Cyberpunk game. Which, I mean, I don't know if it looks good or not, but that's not the point, that's for the game.
Yeah.
But Microsoft literally was like, here's a trailer. Actually, no, it was like literally 50 trailers. Like, I don't think anybody barely came out.
Yeah.
Like, even the guy who was hosting it didn't really show up. They showed trailers, they really didn't show much gameplay, and that's why that's what Microsoft did wrong, the PC gaming did right.
Yeah.
The host was good. I think he has hosted it every year that they've done it. He's got a great personality to be hosting, and he's grown on people for me, and doesn't have too bad of a voice for doing the thing. But the girl up in the rafters kind of creeped me out a little bit, but she was still good too.
Yeah.
But they did everything right. Guy comes out, talks, brings out a developer, talks, does a gameplay trailer, or a demo or a trailer. Then they do a little gameplay for the most part, while talking to the creator, developer, whatnot.
Yeah, it was definitely like Microsoft was just a whole crap that I don't.
Yeah, and I mean, PC gaming got silver, and besides the number 1 top one that we have on here for gold, no other press conference tried to do that. It was PlayStation did talk and trailers, really no gameplay. Nintendo, they had some talk and they had more trailers than gameplay. But the major issue with them is that, and we'll talk about this more when we do a top 3 word, but the one thing Nintendo did was have one segment that was like 45 minutes, or not 45 minutes long, that was 30 minutes long. I'm not going to say what the segment is, that'll be saved for the top 3, when we talk about it. But what I will say is, when your show's only like 40-some minutes, because you and me talked about this, you said, yeah, but Bethesda did Fallout 76, and that was like 30 minutes. But it didn't feel like 30 minutes.
Because they brought more to the table.
They brought more to the
just the same thing, like introducing new characters, but really talking about.
Well, not just that, but they had a nice little comical bit. But the major thing was you had almost a 2-hour show. 30 minutes wasn't going to affect us much.
That was the whole damn thing.
But it was pretty much the whole thing. Xbox, like we said, was more talk than anything. Devolver Digital was the complete opposite of everybody. PC gaming did it right, like I said. Devolver, literally, there was no games hardly. They focused on a storyline, which I do like the storyline they're going with, but there's no games.
Yeah.
And EA, I don't know, EA's press conference was fair, I guess. I mean, I guess they had people come out more, but none of the games really interested me.
Yeah, like 2.
Yeah, Travel 2 and SOS Season Solitude. Yeah, you might have 1 or 2, but
yeah.
And see, that's why none of the press conferences did this, except for number 1 one. Was there anything you'd like to add to PC gaming? Alright. So, our number 1. Okay, fine. Our number 1 giving gold for the top E3 press conference this year was Bethesda software, something around. Go on, start with you on that one. You thought it was number 1.
basically like
Mostly Fallout?
yeah, mostly Fallout, but yeah. I don't know, they just brought a lot to the table. Like, I mean, I'm not even an Elder and stuff. And I mean, I know Fallout and Elder Scrolls are probably the biggest products, and
It
at
usually
least
is.
they're talking about their biggest products.
They are, and they were saying, and they announced Elder Scrolls 6.
Like, it's not like all these people, like, mentioning their little tiny little, you know. Like,
Yeah.
it just feels more, like, big, you know, and
See, PC gaming and limited runs, even when they were 2 and 3, and you said yourself was running a little game. Those 2 press conferences for everybody. This was sized down to Bethesda only.
yeah.
And I mean, they are getting good, original, IPs into it. They got Dune, they got Evil Within, they got Quake. I mean,
They had some good ones going with it.
I mean, even if they weren't shown at the press conference, like Wolfenstein 2, I know Wolfenstein 2 was shown, a new one, but Wolfenstein 2 is too.
They brought a lot of new stuff. And they're just entertaining. That one guy was.
Yeah, the one guy was funny.
They don't want to do Microsoft.
No, that was Microsoft.
That was the only good thing there.
That was one of the only good things that Microsoft did. And I still say that the pops, I think audio is not be well. Oh, this is dying. Yeah. Give me for a second, guys. This is nice to do. It felt like this had died a little too early. Okay. Now that we should have the audio back correctly, Roseplay presents everybody where crap can go wrong in a second's notice. Yeah, no, and I've said this before with the Microsoft conference that, or not well, I did say it on Microsoft, that the Pops could become the next Lego thing.
Yeah.
It's the one thing that could destroy Lego. Try not destroy it, but at least rival it.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to on topic with that. The reason why I thought Bethesda was good was, like you said, there was a lot of good games. There we go. There was a lot of good games being shown. Albeit they didn't show gameplay trailers for a lot of things. But they definitely did show it for Fallout. They showed more than enough, but it wasn't the same thing like for 25 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
And you were right. They said that Elder Scrolls 6 was not coming out this year. It might not be next year, but they're like, hey guys, we're announcing Elder Scrolls 6. In place of it, though, they did do that Elder Scrolls mobile game thing.
Yeah.
And although I feel like it would blow the crap out of my phone, I think that is amazing.
Yeah, it's still bringing something to the table.
I think the number one thing that has me for Bethesda being the number one press conference is the Elder Scrolls very special edition that they got one of the comedians to play, where he would do it on Alexa. And then they ended with the refrigerator, but the wife's like, honey, they told you to cut it down on the cheese. Eat all the cheese.
Yeah, that was funny.
it was really good. But you're right. The guy who hosted it for the most part was good. They did try like limited it on doing some original things, like when they announced Prey.
Yeah.
They had the prey monster go after him and the little pad thing. But yeah, all in all, I mean, I think Bethesda was number 2 for us last year. It was either number 2 or number 3, but I know it was up there.
Yeah.
And honestly, why wouldn't it? Every year, Bethesda seems to pull out all the stops and do their press conference as well. And I hope that Bethesda continues it. Even if Bethesda next year doesn't win first place, I'm still sure, even if they weren't in our top 3, that they would still have a good press conference.
Yeah.
So I think, is there anything else you'd like to add about the Bethesda press conference?
I don't know.
Alright, so we'll move on to final thoughts about the top 3. I guess I'll go first. These 3 press conferences that went on were the best of the best in our opinion. Albeit Microsoft did have second place for a while. And, I mean, PlayStation had the good game. When doing a press conference and having to sit down for hours on end, you want it to be entertaining. You want it to be fun. And you want to see a lot of games. You want them to talk about it and have some play demos up. And I think that's why we voted these 3, the 3 of the conference.
Yeah.
Alright, final thoughts for you.
Well, I rated most of mine on how least boring or mostly, but I also rated them on what kind of game you brought. Like limited run brought
Something for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So that might be like the other ones were just like robot games and whatnot, and
Don't like Nintendo. That's almost all it was.
yeah. And those goes bigger, or bring bigger the game, like open Fallout, Elder Scrolls, them just being the most entertaining.
Yeah.
PC gaming was just interesting.
Oh, Atomic Orchard 54 is joining the Rose Play movement. Well, thank you very much for joining the Rose Play movement. Unfortunately, he came towards the end of the press conference, E3 tops. Oh well. Yeah, no, those are some very fine closing thoughts. I agree with it. I think definitely, like you said, Bethesda, since PC Gaming and Limited showed off everything, you knew what you were getting with Bethesda.
It's a lot how you introduce your, what all you put into it, like showing what all you show, like Microsoft, if they would have talked about something, done a little bit more, but they probably would have.
Probably.
They were the most boring. Like, just nothing really new.
And I almost think I would try out any of the Bethesda games they showed off, including Rage. I still need to try Rage 1.
We'll see if it was a regular Fallout 2, they might. They brought the open world. They brought a whole bunch of stuff.
In multiplayer.
Yeah.
Which is going to be the most interesting part of it all. But since it's a spin-off of the Fallout series, we don't have to worry about them screwing up Fallout if it doesn't do well.
You'll know, you'll have all those being like, you screwed up Fallout, don't play it.
Just don't play it.
Just go. Like, please, let the people who want to play go.
Well, that's why they're only giving it to people who pre-order the game, the beta, so it makes sense. And with that, I think that's good combined final thoughts. So, next time when we come back for episode 63, we will be doing the opposite of what we did this week. Oh, well, this day, not this week, because the next one will be tomorrow. God willing,
Yep.
will be the top 3 worst press conferences. I was looking at top 5 worst games. So it'll be the top 3 worst press conferences. Like I said, there weren't many press conferences, so
They deserve.
yeah, they deserved it, but we forgot about Ubisoft.
They weren't on there.
No, they weren't on either, but I mean, when I was talking about how PC gaming did it.
Well, no one cares. They're just off any list because we don't. They're too forgettable. Like, put them on
No,
any list.
them not having a host is what screwed them. In my opinion. Because I loved the woman from the talk, or the host, or whatever it was. I liked the comedian from the year before. The fact that they didn't give it a host is why Ubisoft wasn't on the good. Were they on the bad? Well, if they were, you'll find out next episode, and I'll probably tell you why they weren't if they weren't. So until next time, remember, keep gaming. Never give up. Why, oh why must there be audio problems when there's no mic on one end? Why you...